Hello and good morning. My name is Umi. This is Deb's Corner. Okay, so today my focus is on men and relationships and their relationship and divorce and marriage. Men. I'm focusing on the men today and the way they react to divorce, to failed marriages, to failed relationships. Okay, so I know that in the discourse surrounding divorce and failed marriages, the predominant narrative has often centered on the emotional turmoil experienced by women, casting them as the primary victims of heartbreak. While it is important to acknowledge and address the challenges women face, it's also critical to recognize that men too undergo their fair share of emotional struggles and life-altering consequences in the aftermath of a failed marriage or relationship. See, for years, societal norms and traditional gender roles have contributed to the perception that men are less affected by heartbreak or that their emotions are not as deeply impacted. This perception, however, is far from accurate. Men experience a wide range of emotions, from shock and sadness to anger, loss, when their relationships come to an end. Recent shifts in perspective have begun shedding light on the often overlooked experiences of men navigating divorce. There's a growing recognition that the emotional and the psychological toll on men can be profound, affecting their mental health, their self-esteem, and overall well-being. Well, to better understand this perspective, exploring statistics related to men affected by divorce becomes essential. Studies suggest that men often experience heightened levels of emotional distress during divorce. Feelings of rejection, loss of identity, and uncertainty about the future are common. Also, men facing divorce are often at increased risk of depression and anxiety. The shift in family dynamics and loss of marital bond can lead to profound psychological struggles. Many men strive to maintain their roles as involved fathers post-divorce. According to various studies, around 50% of men feel that the role of a father is critical. In fact, the society feels that way and continue to be actively involved in their children's life. And sometimes it's quite difficult for them to make this happen. The percentage of single fathers raising their kids alone is on the rise as well. While the numbers may not be as high as that of the single mothers, they are significantly growing too. Now let's consider the impact of a failed relationship or a failed marriage on a man. First, we have the identity crisis. Men often tie their identity and sense of self-worth to their roles as husbands and fathers. So a failed marriage, a failed relationship can lead to an identity crisis and a struggle to redefine themselves. They might experience a sense of isolation as they cope with the society's expectation of them being the strong and the resilient one in the face of adversity. Yes, I think that's the reason why the light has not always been on them for so long. People just often want to assume that, they are stronger and they are in a better control of their emotions than women. Also, in a world where fathers become single parents, they may encounter unique challenges related to parenting and managing household responsibilities, especially if they were not the primary caregiver during their marriage. And most men usually are not. Women are always found in that sphere and not the men. So they would definitely experience some bit of struggle if they are single fathers or when they are single fathers, and we have a lot of single fathers, imagine on a daily basis. Divorce can also result in financial strain, especially if the man was the primary breadwinner. We can testify to the fact that a lot of men are affected by this. Their finances are affected hugely during the divorce. Especially men in the Western world, they suffer that more as compared to men here in my country, in Africa, in Nigeria rather. I know that Nigeria does not really do well for us in this regard. We don't at all. I remember listening to a radio program once, and the woman actually brought the husband to court, and at the end of the day it was decided that the man gives the woman 3,000 naira monthly for upkeep for 3 kids. And I'm wondering, what's she going to do with 3,000 naira? So we need to do better when it comes to divorce and when it comes to financial responsibility. Now, the main reason for this discourse this morning is just to open our eyes to the fact that men equally get affected by broken relationships and marriage. They're not as They are not the superhero that we think they, okay, no, don't let me put it that way so that does not bring down their worth as men. Anyway, the major points we're trying to bring out here, or our major emphasis today, is to also shed light on how men too are affected by failed relationships and failed marriages. They are strong, but in the matters of the heart, I don't think strength comes to play. And because they are expected to be the strong one, or the one that does not show emotions, they tend to hold back so much, and they are also suffering. Okay, so we need to reach out to them as well. Now let me talk to the men. In dealing with the aftermath of a failed marriage or relationship, it is important to seek support from friends, from family, from mental health professionals. Stop acting so strong. We know you're strong, but some situations require help and support. Do not deprive yourself of the opportunity to get support that you need under the guise of being so strong. Engage in open conversations about your emotions, seek therapy if needed, and focus on self-care. All these steps are important in the process of healing. Okay, stop holding back. Reach out. And people around such men, reach out to them as well. Make them have a sense of purpose and regain their self-worth again. Because for them, men don't like to fail. Breaking up a marriage or having a failed marriage or failed relationship, just affects their self-esteem and their perception of who they are or what they are. It makes them feel like they have failed in this regard. So let's reach out to men and let's change the narrative, and also become aware that in the case of a failed marriage or a failed relationship, both parties are equally affected, whether we like it or not. While society focuses on the emotional struggles of women in the context of divorce, and we know that is vital, it is equally important to acknowledge the emotional challenges faced by men. And we should recognize their experiences too and provide resources, foster a supportive environment that can contribute to a more balanced and empathetic perspective on the impact of failed marriages on both genders. So please do good today to yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's me, Wumi, and I hope to see you again. Please, if you like this content, kindly subscribe to my channel, follow, like, share. Hit me up on all of my social media platforms. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook at Debs_Corner. I love you all.